Hello. As you probably saw in my last video, I'm down in the West Country. I've gone from Somerset today down to Devon to meet up with Carl.
Hello.
Mr. Dartmoor Explorer, who some of you older subscribers will remember, but it's been a while since he's been on the channel.
Ages.
We're not on Dartmoor, but we've come because it's Halloween to see Lidwell Chapel, which I saw on one of Carl's videos and said I've got to come down and camp with you here because it is a cool place, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a little story behind this place, but we'll go over that later. For now, we're going to have a little wander around, a little recce, and find somewhere to camp nearby.
I think it's a doer.
Right, we seem to have found a couple of spots. We're on a little bit of a cliff edge, I guess, inside this little woodland, just above the chapel down there. Seems to have gone up okay, a little uneven. We'll probably find out when we lay down exactly how uneven. When everything's this uneven, it's hard to see what's flat. I'm just putting up my sleeping mat, and that'll be me pretty much ready for a well-deserved beer, I think. What do you reckon?
Definitely.
Right, nearly done. I've got my sprout light to hang. In there. Got my Fathom EV300 bag, which is comfort 1 degree, but I've used it in -6 in Sweden, so I think that's going to be fine. I've got some extra clothes. Got my usual stuff sack pillow covered in leaves, and I've picked up, I went to Decathlon or Go Outdoors for the first time in months, and I thought I'd need to buy something, and I bought this new little pillow. I hate inflatables, but I thought in the winter I put on a lot of what's in here, like the long johns and everything, and it can be quite flaccid, so I went for a tiny little pillow, and that can go in there when I put on them extra clothes over winter. Well-deserved rest. So we're both set up now. We've probably got half hour or so of light left. This is quite a small little woodland here between different fields. So you've got like farms kind of around us really. So being slightly stealthy, but we're not in direct line of sight of anyone here. There's a spot down there where it looks like people have had a campfire and stuff. But there's a couple of stumps and stuff that we might bring up and use as kind of tables, and Cole can have a seat then as well, because he hasn't got this kind of luxury. We're actually quite high up here. I just remembered I get vertigo.
Oh. Now's not a good time to remember.
Here's Cole's Banshee 200, the classic. He's got high sides on either side, so it's made it a bit ski whiff on the setting up, but it's good in the middle for laying in. And you can see where I am on the higher ground, as it should be.
Head rush.
I'm in the spot that Cole gave up for me because I've got a bigger footprint. This is what we can see from our spot here. We're right on the edge of the woodland, right by a top part of a field which doesn't seem to be in use. And when you look down that field that way, you can see the sea, and that's where we're going to get our sunrise in the morning. So we might get up and have a little walk up onto the ridge there and have a little look at the sunrise. That is, if it's not raining. Going to do a spot of stew today. Nothing special, just a little one. I'm just going to use this Trangia Mini, which I keep gravitating towards on camps now. I think it is pretty ideal for a one-person cook. There we go. And just get a few things in the pot and get our cooking. Well, I've had to put the light on because it is getting a little bit on the dark side now, but got some potato. I'm just trying to keep this quite simple. This is a little camping one pot stew. Got some carrot. Yeah, I've got some onion. And that's all the veggies. I've also got some of this portable soup that you'll have seen on my survival food video, and that's reduced down oxtail. It's just like a stock basically. They'll re-liquefy. Might as well put that in. I'll add some water and I'll get that bubbling away. I've got boil on, so I'm just going to take this off and put my simmering on. Going to go with about there. Just get that simmering away. With the pan as the lid. Whereas this has been simmering away for a little while, I've just poured out a little of the water, and I'm cheating because I was staying out last night as well. I didn't want sort of fresh stuff. I've got some stewed beef to add in. And so just get that all cooking down with everything else. Right, so that's all mixed in now and been simmering away, so I've got some flour, suet and salt and stuff here that I've just added some water to, so I'm hoping to get some little dumplings out of this. Nothing too big, so I've got to put the lid on. and I'll use that this way round. Do it by hand. Some extra space there. Tell you what, this actually looks pretty good. Dumplings have cooked through by the looks of things. They've got some mixed herbs in them. Nice thick gravy. Taste test. Oh, I do love a dumpling, especially with suet. Veg is cooked. I've never really had this kind of tinned beef before. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. It's extra beefy because I've got that portable soup in there as well. If you can hear a noise in the background, that's Cole's gas stove.
Sorry.
He's trying to outdo me with a mixed grill. And it's looking pretty impressive, to be honest, chips and all. Right, I'm going to get this down me. That was the perfect amount and it was lovely. I was really happy with that. I'm loving using this Trangia mini set. It's perfect for a solo camp. Well, it's Halloween, so it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't do a pumpkin. Got this one with me, lugged this out here, and going to be using my Opinel kitchen knife for it this year. So I'll just get this top off and we'll get going. Well, I've got it scooped out. I don't think I'm going for anything extravagant this year. Not that I ever really do on these videos. Pretty standard. Get his nose in. Oh. Well, Cole's decided to outdo me. Would you check that out? It's amazing. The Kent Survival logo on a pumpkin. It should be me doing that, not you. And I've gone half-hearted with my scary face. That's so good.
Just gutted I couldn't get the writing in. Didn't have time.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's perfect. Brought the trail cam out with me. Do some ghost watching by the chapel, which is just behind the camera there, so I'm going to have this face that direction if I can get through to this tree. The 14th century chapel of Lidwell is the home to a sinister tale. The story goes that in 1560 a hermit monk by the name of Simon, driven mad by solitude, would lure weary travellers to the chapel with the promise of rest and food. At night he would go in search of travellers and offer them shelter and food for the night. The travellers, glad at the sight of a monk offering to help, gladly took up such an offer and were treated to a hot meal. However, the meal was laced with a narcotic, rendering them semi-conscious so that the monk could stab them to death. They were robbed of their possessions and their bodies dumped in the well. After several years, Simon met his match, and a sailor, seeing the monk's attempts with a knife, fought him off, sending the monk himself down the well, dying within desperate grasp of his ill-gotten gains. Years later, in the 1800s, the remains of several bodies, including women and children, were found down the chapel's well, confirming the story of Lidwell's murderous monk. Well, it's been a rather peaceful evening so far. We've not been disturbed by any spirits. I've got the trail camera set up down at the chapel, just down that way. We're not too far away here, so we'll check on that in the morning. But I think it's time to go to bed. I've had a few beers, sat around chatting, had my hot chocolate. It's bedtime. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night. Alright, good morning. I've just been down to the chapel down there just to pick up the trail camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's anything really spooky on there, but I'll review the footage as usual when I get home, see if there's anything I can't see on that tiny screen. I've got a bit of a creak in the neck from last night because it was definitely on, well, a double slope, which is unfortunate. I kept sliding down in the night. I tried to pack it out, but yeah, I was tired, just kind of slept through it mostly. Legs starting to dangle out the edge of the tent. But I think it's time for us to do some breakfast now. Shared duties, and we'll get that going. We've got shared duties today, like I said, with breakfast. I'm going to set up here where I did my dinner, and I'm going to do the Cumberland sausages and the beans, which is kind of perfect for the mini really, because you've got the pan and the pot. So I'll just get this stove on. And filled up. Get that lit. Looks slick. Get the pan on first with a little bit of oil. That oil should be a bit warmed up now. I'm just going to get some sausages in here. And room for a little one. Just going to take these off for a minute. Get the pot on with the beans, which is perfect. And I'm going to use this as a lid for that, and it'll also help keep the sausages warm. Right, here we go with a few extras from Carl. We've got the egg, bacon, black pudding and hash brown. So I'm going to get into this. This is where I was set up. Just kick the leaves around. Got some rubbish to take with me. If I pan us round, that's the spot where Carl was. He's just finishing packing up as well. So leaving no trace. This is a beautiful little spot. Well, that's us done. Gonna head on back past the chapel and out. And it's been a good one. Thanks very much for having me down, Carl.
Well, anytime, thanks for coming along.
It's been an interesting one. Another haunted place for a Halloween special. Hello. No. Bastards.